Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and welcome to me discovering what I will choose as my grinder for rank 6 Japanese aircraft. I do not need to explain how attractive and powerful, desirable even, the new Japanese jet is going to be. I consider this to be the shooting star of this upcoming update 1.87. Very exciting. 87, good year. And I've selected the Kikka, partially because Toshio 1987 on Live.War Thunder has made a true masterpiece here for the custom camo on this one. Well, is he a relative of mine? That name sounds oddly familiar. But also because the Kikka has recently, and it still seems recent to me, I'm still celebrating, received some serious love, and if you search for Kikka on my channel, you'll hear much more about that. Also, I've been unlocking modules for my Kikka, and it is truly a speed demon now. Once you get the mobility upgrades for this beast of an airplane, it flies like a dream. Even faster acceleration than an ME-262 at lower speeds, if I'm not mistaken. It certainly feels that way. And its vertical energy retention in a climb is astounding, as you can see from this beautiful cinematic footage before you. Look at that beautiful aircraft. Now we're playing in Tank RB, which is my favorite place to play lower battle rating jets, because you face F-84s much less often, and even if you do, you have more options with markers turned off for aircraft than you do with them on. And having said that, the guns on the Kikka are still amazing. It can still carry an 800 kilo bomb, which is very useful in Tank RB, although I didn't have the spawn points to bring Bomb-chan with me today. She was actually taking a nap in the hangar, thank you. We're going to have a good match in this one, and that's just it. I've decided to put a talisman on this beauty, a rank 6, and the state of this aircraft have convinced me. So that's really all I had to say about the Kikka. All I had to say about this, quick burst and the first enemy is down, grinder, and a second. Could it be? Yes, that is a kill on the second P-47. God bless the incredible ground strike potential of the American P-47. A second blessing, a greater one upon the great number available to players, because that gives me a big beefy target to one-shot with my 30mm cannons. Tracer belts, for those in the know, seem to have the most stopping power with a full high explosive content, and as you see, high velocity guns, somewhat lower fire rate, which is helpful because you don't have a lot of ammunition with the Kikka. As for the rest, this is just going to be a delightful match, truly a joy to play, and as you can see, even without looking at the numbers, we're hovering at the high 400 to mid 500 mile per hour airspeed range shortly after taking our shallow turns. We're preserving our energy fairly well here, although we don't expect to encounter enemy jets. The Kikka, very comfortable roll rate, not the highest, but overall good maneuvering, and the punch of those guns, just so satisfying as a third P-47 presents its body to Senpai for christening with Japanese high explosive shrapnel, as all P-47s should, I suppose, at least when I'm playing the Japanese. At 6-7 battle rating, you are comfortably safe from radar-guided SPAA. Even if they become less of a threat, is it possible to aircraft in the coming update? Locked On, which will see changes to radar, I'm sure in a few weeks we will see, and with a final burst that just didn't have any sound behind it, we take down our 4th aircraft. That is going to be the last one, our last kill for this match, and the rest is just a victory lap. We're down to about 2.5 minutes of fuel, and I've come to a decision point. Do I keep lurking around the combat area? Do I strafe with my 40 remaining cannon rounds, or do I return to the airfield and with one last look at the combat zone and keeping in mind what's happening in the match, it's probably time to head back for the base. So to the airfield we will shortly be, after, well, maybe just a little bit of flying low and looking around for another target. Again, it is a joy to fly low in the Kikka. It has good maneuverability even at high speeds, which is very helpful, and you don't lose a whole lot of energy dodging trees and trimming the grass at low altitude. Not necessarily recommended for Air RB, but Tank RB is a different ballpark altogether. Allied aircraft, no needs to worry. We check our tail one last time before heading back to the runway, and in seconds we are there. Fuel down to around 2 minutes as we throttle down and prepare ourselves for a Kikka landing. For those of you that aren't aware, and I'm just sort of listing off the reasons I'm in love with this plane now, I suppose, but as usual, the Japanese tree full of vehicles that are fun to play, and you definitely have other choices in the form of the Sabres, which are among the best Sabres in the game, or the R2Y2s, to use as your rank 5 grinder to grind out those rank 6 aircraft. That beautiful, beautiful rank 6. I'm sure with more to come after America, Russia, and Germany get their love, no doubt. But it is nice to see Japan's lean lineup being very mean when it comes to being competitive with individual vehicles. Lowering our speed now, and for those of you that don't know, the Kikka can land in the same way as the Me-262, which is my favorite way to land. What should we call this? The power slide? The Superman landing? But in any event, very easy to skid on the pylons, which of course destroys the engines, but it doesn't stretch out our repair time any, so we slide in for a beautiful landing. And with that, I guess I've said my fill. It really was a fun match, and there's a lot more where that came from. Catch you in the next video. Bye bye.